All right, so the backstory to this, ladies and gentlemen, is that I fought Advaita X, who you guys know. I've fought him numerous amounts of times on the. I've made a couple videos on him, but you guys have seen me fight him on stream numerous amounts of times. So this fight right here is such a masterpiece in high level, the high level chess match that UFC 4 is meant to be. Right? And we're not using meta fighters. We're not using fucking Amanda Nunes or anybody else. We're literally using Raquel Pennington and Miesha Tate, right? We're using two lower tier fighters in the game. Yeah, that's Miles. Yeah, Miles is the Veda. But I had to bring this in. After this fight happened, I literally hit Advaita up because me and Advaita are friends. We're cool. We're boys. I literally hit Advaita up and I was like, hey, bro, I really want to make this content. Like, I really want to make this fight that we just had, because this was in ranked. I really want to make this video, this fight that we just had content. And he said, please do, bro. People need to understand how to use. He was more talking about grappling mechanics, but he was like, people need to learn how to use grappling mechanics, but they also need to see how this game is supposed to be played. People need to learn, and this video will help them to learn how to actually fight in UFC 4. So shout out to the homie Advaita. I asked him for permission to use this fight. I was just gonna drop this for a video for you guys, but I wanted to do this on stream. What's up, ASD? I wanted to do this on stream because any questions that you guys might have, I want y'all to ask me, and we're going to go through it together. And then for those of you guys that are going to be watching this on the video side of it, because I am going to post this up as a video. For those of you guys that are going to be watching this on the video side, if you weren't able to make this live, drop a comment in the comment section. And feel free to ask as many questions as you want. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see if I can get Advaita to pop in stream real quick. Advaita's mad tactical. He's very, very patient, bro. Very patient. You guys are going to see right now. Let me see. Hold up. I just shot him a message, but who knows? I don't know if he's busy or if he's not. But all right, let's get into it. We're gonna pull this up. All right, gonna make this bigger. All right, so we got Raquel Pennington versus Miesha Tate. I'm Raquel Pennington. He's Miesha Tate. Right. All right, so we show levels of respect to each other because I respect him, he respects me. Now, in this matchup, this is going to be a striker versus a grappler. Miesha Tate is the better grappler out of the two. Raquel Pennington is the better striker. She has the heavier hands. So this is the classic striker versus grappler matchup. All right, let's watch it. Hold on, let me turn this volume down just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Advaita is so patient and he frustrates so many people from playing like this. He is always going to play like this, ladies and gentlemen. He's not just going to walk forward at you. He's not going to walk you down. He's always going to be playing like this until he gets you hurt. Then, and only then, will he move forward. And this is what frustrates people. He's a back foot fighter. Fights very, very well off the back foot, which I don't blame him. He's so good at it. It frustrates the shit out of people. This is what he does. So what's going to be my strategy? I'm going to play into his game, right? I'm going to play his game. I'm going to keep him on this back foot. I'm going to keep him going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And try to keep him on his back foot. But I'm going to work that leg. I'm going to start to work this leg right here. You see this first leg kick's coming. I want to see if he's going to check it. If he doesn't check it, then I'm going to continue to work this leg. He doesn't check it. So see, we're keeping him on that back foot. But notice what I'm doing. I'm hopping in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm not just following him around, trying to launch combinations at his block. I'm trying to cut off the angle, but I'm also moving in and out. I'm not just standing stationary trying to overwhelm his block. He be holding most of his stamina for the post-suppression. Hey, we ain't talking about that, ASD. But I'm keeping him in motion right here. So see, we regain the middle of the octagon. We're going to control it. Feinting. We don't want him to get the timing on us entering in the pocket because, see, he's throwing those jab straights out. We miss on the head kick, but that's giving him something to look at. He shoots for a takedown. We deny it. So now we know he is going to be trying to go and try to take us down. So right there, going to the body. Popping that jab out. Nice slip straight by us. But see how patient I'm just staying? I'm staying patient. And notice what he's doing. Right? Notice what he's doing. Look at where his hands are at. He's seen me throw that first kick to the leg. He's checking them things. He's checking them things. Now, this is important. This can be very important. Because what happens if I step in range and he still has his hand down right here? I'm going to fucking float that head kick out, right? I'm going to float it out. It puts him in a 50-50 spot because Raquel Pennington has a front kick to the head. So he has to read either I'm going to launch this roundhouse kick to the head or I'm going to pop out a front kick. So that puts him in a 50-50 spot. So that makes him think. And that's what we want to do. We want to make him think. So that's what we're doing. So see, he's blocking the leg kick. Still trying to check it. We're closing the distance. We don't have to worry about anything because he's blocking. So we're just taking our time. See, we're still chopping at those legs, but we're doing it with a strike in front of it. We're not just going straight up. Because I see that he's already pre-checking the kick. Popping out that jab. There's the jab straight from him. Breaking the block down. There is the takedown attempt, and he's going to be able to get that one. Now, we kind of fell into that trap. And this is not really where we want to be at with Raquel Pennington. We don't want to be in side control. Because, first of all, Miesha Tate is the better grappler, and she has very good top control in the game. And number two, Advaita X, in terms of side control pressure and side control, just control, is very, very fucking good. He's very, very good in side control, in maintaining side control. So we're in a bad spot with 222. So see, he's able to block that transition. We're going to fake. He's going to block it again. Now he's going to go for the crucifix right here. He's able to get it, but we're able to get out of there. So now we know what he's trying to do. That strategy that we employed right there didn't work. But we're able to go right back to it and get the sprawl. We block the transition off. Now we're in the stalling positions and we make him get back to the feet. Now this is why sprawling is so important. It's so important right here. You don't want to just keep going up and going into half guard, because if you're able to get into sprawl, defense is going to be your opponent's worst enemy, because you can get pushed up to the fence in UFC 4. You can get pushed up to the fence, or you can get taken to side control yourself off of the reversal. So what happens here is the second I get put in sprawl, or the second he gets put in sprawl, I'm looking to deny whatever transition he's trying to go left or right. And when I deny that, he has no choice but to get back to the feet, which is where we want to be at in this matchup. We want to be on the feet. And we're able to get back to our feet. So that's why it's so important to try to get to sprawl as much as possible. Even when you're in half guard, go to sprawl. Go to sprawl. If they're blocking full guard, go to sprawl. Kind of just go in between sprawl and full guard. So we're back on the feet. We got a minute 15 left. He's checking the leg kicks now, even after the jab setup. So I'm reading that. So that means we can start popping off the 1-2s. We're feinting it off, trying to take advantage of it. Hit him with a nice head kick right there. Now, see, that was set up. That was set up off this right here. You see the feint leg kick? You get that mind reading, right? Oh, man, he's throwing a leg kick. He wasn't going to check that one, but now it just kind of puts him on notice, right? It puts him on notice. So he goes down to the body. We step out. And look at where his hands are when we land the kick. He's blocking low because he's thinking that leg kick is coming out. And this is what I was telling you guys earlier when he was lower in that block. When you pre-deny something, when somebody pre-denies something like that, or they're trying to pre-check a leg kick, you need to at some point throw a head kick. And this is where that comes into play. He's blocking low. He's not anticipating the head kicks coming up to the top. Now, what's tricky about Advaita, and what I know now with landing this head kick, Advaita likes to duck. He likes to duck. I know this because I fought him enough times. I've watched him fight other people. He loves to duck. So, I got to be aware of that when I'm throwing these roundhouse kicks out to the head, because if he ducks it, we're in a lot of fucking trouble. So, we got to just be careful. You feel me? They were popping out the 1-2, still chopping out that leg. But notice how we're just mixing it in at different times. We're not just giving them a steady diet of them things like we were at the beginning of the round. So he's still blocking low, but notice how he's switching up between high-low because he knows I'm willing to throw that head kick. So that's going to open up opportunities for us to continue to chop at that leg. And that's going to be the end of the first round. Now, a chess match between me and Advaita. Chess match. And this is how UFC 4 is supposed to be played, ladies and gentlemen. This is how UFC 4 is supposed to be played. He got what he wanted. I got what I wanted. And now we got a good feel for what each other's trying to do in this fight. So now we're going to start making in-fight adjustments. We're going to start making in-fight reads to try to counter each other. So here we go. Second round. He's still holding those hands low. Let's go back and rewatch that. Hold on. I want y'all to see. Look at that. His hands went from low to high. From low to high. So it means he's rotating his block, which is what we want. When you're fighting somebody at this caliber, at this high level, you want to get them rotating that block up and down, up and down, up and down. That means that they respect you. The respect's coming back. You've earned their respect because you hit them with a strike that they didn't think you were going to hit them with, and now they're lowering and higher in that block. So we're feinting, closing the distance. Trying to hit him with the straight. Nice leg kick right there as he was inputting the jab straight. Staying patient with it. And notice my footwork. Notice right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's replay this in slow motion. I know I'm kind of breaking down, but I want y'all to see just the little nooks and crannies that go into the high level UFC 4 gameplay. All right. Notice when I'm fighting him, I'm not following him. I'm staying out at a comfortable distance where I know the only thing that can hit me is if he throws a kick. The jab straights, he's gonna have to close the distance with the jab and the straight, and that's gonna allow me to back up. But notice what I'm doing here when I'm cutting off the cage, and this is what I hope they do in UFC 5 without you having to have this much distance between you and your opponent. So look at how I'm cutting off the cage when we're both backed up. See how I'm moving laterally? I'm moving laterally. I'm not following him, just walking forward. I'm trying to cut off that angle of escape for him. Moving laterally, moving the same direction as him, but at distance, I can cut it off. Right? That's how you have to deal with back foot fighters that are just trying to move laterally. You want to stay out at distance to where only one strike can hit you. The head kick is going to do the most damaging strike from this distance. The jab straight will give you enough time to be able to back out of range of it and then close the distance. You know what I mean? And Advaita knows that. That's why he's not launching the jab straight moving forward. He's only launching the jab straight when I'm closing the distance. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how you want to do it. That's how you have to close the distance against back foot fighters in the game, for those of you guys that were wondering. So there we hit him with a nice body kick, nice uppercut, because he realizes that we are going down to the body now. We're exchanging right here, but this is where we want to be at. And this is something that Advaita doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to exchange with us in the pocket, because then it becomes a 50-50 game. It becomes an input timing game, and that's not what he wants to do. Advaita is a very intelligent player. He wants to make you outwork him mentally. He wants to make you have to use that IQ if you're going to beat him. So this is why he retreats, cuts that angle off, and backs out. But us, we know that's what he's trying to do. So we're putting that pace on him. We're trying to put that pace on him. He shoots for a takedown right there. We deny that thing. We force that shot because he's feeling uncomfortable in that pocket. So now we're being a lot more aggressive than what we were in the first round. And this is why I'm telling you that change of pace. You need to be able to have the change of pace in UFC 4. If you can change paces throughout a fight and really confuse your opponent of when you're going to enter, when you're going to throw strikes, when you're going to press forward, and when you're not, you're at a really, really big advantage. And they're at a really, really big disadvantage because they'll never be able to get comfortable with the pace. And this is something that guys like Colby Covington do in real life. This is what makes Colby Covington so fucking... and Kamaru Usman, they're so... It makes them so unbeatable at times because they just put a pace on you, and you never know when they're going to put that pace on you. You never know. You never know when they're going to shoot for a takedown. How many takedowns they're shooting for? Are they going to pressure me? Am I going to be able to strike? Are they going to be willing to strike? It's so mind-boggling. It keeps your brain overloaded because you never know. And this is something that you can take from real life fights and implement them into UFC 4. And this is the beautiful thing about UFC 4. All right, so we're putting the pressure on them, but notice we back off. Now we're playing it patient. Trying to overload that brain, right? Trying to give him different looks. So does he think that we're closing the distance? Yes, he does, because he's launching out combos. Look, he's missing on those jabs. Launching those combinations off. He's trying to adapt to the pace by speeding it up himself. Crack him right there with a head kick because he thought probably we were going to go low to that calf kick like we have been all round long. Still rotating that block. We missed right there on the body kick, but look, we're out of range. So notice, hold on, I want to go back because I harped on this point earlier. So notice the range right here. Oh, he actually shot. Hold on, we didn't go back far enough. I want to go back to when we missed that kick. Because what I was telling you guys earlier about it is real important, right? So we're close. Look at where we are. We're so far out of range. Even if he was to launch what you guys know I love to do in hitting the overhand counter, we're out of range. By the time his overhand hits me, I'm going to be able to block. My recovery will have happened. But look, what I was telling you guys earlier too about the jab straight is not going to be able to close the distance as quick as he would have liked, right? So right here, he's going to throw the jab straight. And look, the double jab never even touches me. The straight, by the time it hits me, touches my block. We're so far out of range because of the spacing that we have. We can throw body kicks like that and not have to worry about getting countered, bro. So this is how you know that your range is on point. When they're double jabbing to close the distance and they're missing on the double jab and the straight's hitting your block, you know you're having good range, right? Yo, what up, JB? What's up, bro? Cool idea for a stream. Hey, I appreciate it, bro. So he shot from so far out. We were able to deny that thing. Cracking that leg kick off. Popping out that jab. Like I was saying earlier, the jab can be super important. Spacing it out. Taking our time. Nice check by him right there. Now he's starting to adjust. Notice he's pressing. Oh, nice shot attempt. That was a very, very good shot attempt off of missed strikes. And that's something else that I want to show you guys too. That's how you want to set up your takedowns. Right here, hold on. He waits for me to miss the two-piece right there. He's going to wait for me to miss this two-piece. And look at when he shoots. Two-piece miss. In the middle of that neutral position that we were playing, because he knows that I feinted that second strike, he shoots for that double leg. And even though he doesn't get it, because he cancels it, it's going to go right into that elbow. Now, unfortunately, he didn't land it. But that's still a very, very good mix-up. It's something that I have to think about. So we're still taking our time. He's blocking the head kicks now. So that's going to open up those calf kicks. Nice, nice. We caught him right there with a jab with a jab hook. He misses on that attempt. So now with 15 seconds left, we won this round. We won this round. He shoots for another double leg. He gets it, but it's already the end of the round. Now, look, we actually landed more than he did with less strikes. So we won that round. So here I expect him to make a little bit more adjustments here in this third round, because honestly, he's probably lost 2 out of these 3 rounds, at least. And he knows that. So he's still going to be dangerous because we haven't hurt him enough. Nice jab straight. He's checking the kicks now. He's popping out the jabs. We're still trying to do a better job of cutting off that lateral movement. Nice jab leg kick by us. We miss on the jab straight. And now look, I want y'all to notice what he does right here. I want you guys to notice what he does. Look at where he's at. Where he was earlier in the fight, he was more back here. He's staying in between now, between this black line and the fence. So watch this combination that I throw. The jab hook, he does basically what I'm trying to tell you guys we're trying to do to him. He's able to back out of the way of this combination and still be in range. And this is something that GOAT does very, very well as well. He backs out of the way of this jab straight, and he's still safe. He's still safe. And then he's able to close the distance because now my stamina is going to be down from having missed that jab straight. But he's adjusted. He's adjusted his range. He's not as far back. He's more pressed up a little bit, probably to like where the Toyo is, instead of being back on the fence. And now he's able to close the distance and avoid combinations when I'm coming forward. So that's that adjustment that I was telling you guys. So now we need to make the adjustments and close the distance and be a little bit closer to him if we're going to be launching off combinations. So we do so successfully, but then he hits us with the double leg. And that's why we didn't want to be as close as we were. We're able to get back out of side control right there. We try to take full guard, but he did a good job of transitioning off right away. And now look at where we are. We're in the position that he wants us to be in right here, ladies and gentlemen. And he's denying these transitions because his side control, like I said earlier, is some of the best in the fucking game. He's posturing up. Postures right back down so that way we can't get out of side control. Very high IQ stuff right here by Advaita. We've hit every single transition. We tried every single transition. He's denied all of them. So here he's going to be able to get the crucifix back. But notice how I'm not trying to transition out of it frantically. We need to stay patient and try to get an elbow flick or a punch flick out of here, because he's denying all these transitions. We can try to fake, but I think he's probably going to block those as well. Here we're still just taking our time. He has us in crucifix. See, there's the denial right there. And we actually tried to fake. But here he's just doing a lot of damage to us. But we're able to finally hit the fake and go the opposite way with the nice transition. But we're right back into side control. And he's doing a very good job of keeping us down here. And he's doing a lot of damage to our head health as well. So we're finally able to get sprawl right there. He makes a lapse in judgment and doesn't block it. We try to go for side control, but he did a good job of denying it. We deny the backside transition right there. Try to go for side control again, but he denied it very, very well. Punch in the body. So from here, we just got to survive. But we're able to hit the get up because he's anticipating us going up and down. So for those of you guys, in case when you guys are going up against elite level players, here, because of what happened earlier and the threat here, he's anticipating us going up and pushing him up against this invisible fence that's going to be right here, or he's anticipating us going down. And we've already went down, so he's anticipating us going up. He's not anticipating us trying to get up on the sides. So sometimes this will work. This will work, right? And that's what ends up working for us. We go right here, and we're able to get back to our feet. So that's something that you guys want to pay attention to when you guys are going up against high-level fighters as well. So now he's won this round. The adjustments that he needed to make, he made. And he made the most out of the positions that he got us in and was able to land a lot of damaging strikes. So he won that round. Too high level to understand in one setting, must revise it. Yeah, y'all, we're going to post it up for a video for you guys. So I'm going to post it up for a video for you guys. So don't worry about going back and rewatching the stream. So we're taking our time. He's shooting still, but notice how we're out of range now. We're not closing that distance as much as we were in the last round. So it gives us time to be able to deny it. He's popping out the jab straights now. We're closing the distance a little bit, but look at the head health, man. It's real bad. It's real bad on us, ladies and gentlemen. He shoots for another takedown, but we deny it because we know what takedown he's going for. He's going for the double leg turning takedown into side control. So now that I know that that's what he's shooting for, I'm on that denial heavy. So if he was to shoot for a single leg, he might be able to get it. But then again, at the beginning of the fight, he did shoot for a single leg turning takedown twice, and I denied it. So he's abandoned it altogether. So now we're going to the body. There's the leg kick rock that we were doing. All the leg damage that we've done throughout the course of these 3 rounds back here and the minute and a half of this 4th round is all coming to pay. It's starting to pay off because that leg is fucked and he's going to switch into southpaw. This is going to make it a little bit more difficult for him. It's going to make it a little more difficult because, number one, he doesn't want to fight in southpaw. Number two, Miesha Tate is not a southpaw fighter. So it's going to make it a little more challenging for him to get a takedown, but it's also going to make it a little more challenging for me if I don't switch into southpaw to deny it as well. So I can be shooting myself in the foot too with these leg kicks. But we got the leg kick rock off, and that's going to be winning us the round so far. So now he switched into southpaw. Now we switch. So notice what I was telling you guys earlier about making it harder on myself if I don't switch into southpaw to deny the takedowns. So what do? I switch. And this is why being able to fight in both orthodox and southpaw is so crucial against elite level fighters like Advaita, because if he switches and he's shooting for takedowns, I want to switch. So that way it's in the same general direction as it was when I was in orthodox. You feel what I'm saying? So the camera doesn't fuck you over when you're trying to defend the takedowns. That's why I switched. So now we're in southpaw. Oh, nice jab overhand. Rocked us. So now he's going to have the advantage. So we need to try to get something back. He shoots for the takedown. And there was the double leg takedown. This was the whole reason why I switched to southpaw, to defend this takedown specifically. And we defended it very, very well. Hit him with a nice uppercut. But he is winning this round just because he did get that head rock. So we're closing the distance a little bit more. Hitting the body just to try to lower that block down. Nice slip straight off the read of the jab straight. Oh, we're breaking that block down nicely. But we just got to be careful of the stamina. Because he can hit a spear takedown on us if our stamina is low like we just had it. So now you guys see what I'm doing right here? You guys see what I'm doing right here? I'm closing that distance. I got the rock off, right? And now I could just take my time. I really could. I've got a leg kick rock and a head rock. That's going to counter his head rock that he got earlier. But instead of me just staying complacent and letting him get his wits about himself, I'm applying that pressure. I'm popping out single strikes. I'm popping out double strikes. You know, I'm mixing high-low. You know what I mean? I'm trying to overload that brain and trying to get him to think, what is he going to hit me with? What is he going to hit me with? And just applying that pressure, trying to break him a little bit. So here we're just touching him. Double strike combinations right there. Still in his face. He tries to answer back. Double jabbing into a straight. The slip straight's coming out. And you can see he's starting to get a little bit flustered. Because now we're landing a lot. Breaking that block down. Staying in his face. Catch him with an uppercut after he just tried to throw out a jab. He literally just tried to throw out a jab right here, ladies and gentlemen. And got caught with a stationary uppercut. And that's what did that damage. Look. Bam. Hit him with an uppercut right there. In his face. In his face. Rear uppercut off the jab straight. Does the damage that we need. Get that second knockdown. Or get that second head rock into a knockdown. He switches back into southpaw. And now we're just on the pressure. We're on the gas. Nice knee. But you see, he's just more shelling up now. We're doing a lot of damage. He shoots for a takedown right there. We're able to knock him down with a beautifully timed uppercut. But then he answers back right there. And that's the risk. That's the risk you run right there, right? That's the risk you run. We get that knockdown. We come up. We're pressing. Hits us with a clean lead uppercut. Did a lot of damage to us. But we're not deterred. We're not deterred. We're still in that phase, but notice how we're slowing up the rhythm. Caught him with a clean lead hook as he caught us with a nice lead uppercut. He clinches us up, hits us with a nice clean elbow. Double jabbing, closing the distance. He's launching off two strike combinations. Oh, we cracked him right there. Now, what happened right there is you see he slipped a little bit early. He slipped just a tad bit early, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to throw that. Throw the straight. Roundhouse kick. He was actually coming up from a duck. So he actually ducked the straight, but got caught by the roundhouse kick coming back up to the head. Sad, bro. It's sad. But it is what it is. Sometimes that's just the way it works out. And that's going to be the end of the fourth round. Our head health is shot, but I know his is as well. We've knocked him down multiple times. Multiple times in that fourth round. So now it's going to come down to whoever makes the mistake first is going to get knocked out. So he's back in orthodox. So we switch back. We're going to stay in orthodox. We're going to mirror his stance for the rest of the time. crack him with a good lead hook, drop him right there, and that's going to end the fight. That was all the damage that we needed, ladies and gentlemen. The beautiful work that we put in the fourth round, all that damage that added up in that fourth round made it for us to be able to get this finish here in the fifth round. And he was in orthodox. Which would have made us chopping his leg more of a thing too. So if we would have started chopping that leg, he would have had to stay stationary, and we still probably would have been able to get the job done. But that pressure was what got it done. Of course, we hit each other with the respects, a good fight. This is a tough fight. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, this shit was easy, because it ain't easy, number one. And number two, it takes a high fight IQ in UFC 4 to deal with guys like Advaita. It does, man. What up, Mallow? How you doing, man? I'm doing good, bro. Just got done breaking down the fight. But high fight IQ. This is how UFC 4 is supposed to be played. This is how UFC 4 is played at the fucking highest level. When guys are just thinking about it, and it's a high stakes chess match, whoever makes that mistake, whoever's able to make the best reads and the most adjustments in the fight is going to win the fight. And this was just a beautiful fucking fight, man. And I really hope you guys did enjoy this. If you guys did enjoy this, for those of you guys that are watching this on the video and you guys are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button as well as slap that like button. It'd be much appreciated. As you guys know, I do post UFC 4 content on the channel daily. But I really hope you guys did enjoy this fight. Shout out to the homie Advaita. Really, really tough fight, man. Respect to him. This is just a masterclass performance with two non-meta fighters. I actually sent this fight to Romero. To check out, and he himself said it was amazing, man. It was amazing. It was a really, really good fight.